Hey everyone, this is Tanya, and I'm doing some good old-fashioned sloppy joes. I'm going to tell you, this is a childhood favorite of mine, and hey, there's nothing wrong with pulling out the MANWICH to make you a sloppy joe sandwich. Oh yeah, this is the stuff. It's easy, simple, quick. What I'm currently doing is you just take a pound to 2 pounds of ground beef. Brown this ground beef, chop you up about a half a cup of diced onions. Just dice them up real fine. And some people put green tomatoes, excuse me, green peppers. But I just like good old-fashioned diced onions. And again, you get the ground beef to your liking. Now, I'm also a big ground turkey fan. Sometimes I'll mix my ground beef up with ground turkey. And for people who have had my spaghetti, they don't know the difference. But anyway, I'll come back just as soon as this finished browning, and then we'll go to the next step. Oh, shucks. Why don't I have a pause? Anyway, my camera is not even gonna let me do a daggone pause. So anyway, I'm doing this is what you call a quick style flim flam. So anyway, I'm just gonna keep on letting this brown. And basically after what I do after I brown the ground beef, you can buy McCormick's Sloppy Joe seasoning mix. Okay, and that's what that is. And you just sprinkle it. It's got all the seasonings you need. Now, of course, you add your own seasoning to taste, which is what I'll do after I put this packet in there. I sometimes will just sprinkle just a little bit of sugar in there because it can be a little twangy, and I don't like twangy. So sugar, just adding a little bit of sugar. If you don't have sugar, everybody should have a bottle of ketchup in their refrigerator. Because, you know, sometimes when it's hard time, I never forget I was listening to Dolly Parton, which I love her singing, by the way. She, when she was going through rough times, you know, she would go to any local fast food restaurant and just ask for tomato ketchup, you know, packets. And she would mix that up with water and would have ketchup soup. And she said she did that for years until she, you know, of course, she made it big. And so anyway, I went all off around that to get to my elbow. But like I said, she has a awesome story. Now, you know, like I said, I'm of course a Christian, and I love worship and praise, but I love all genres of music, and I love country music too because of the story it tells. Same way with blues. I love the songs just to hear the stories behind them, whether they be true, whether it be something that person experienced with a friend or a family member. But anyway, I don't know. I have Direct TV, and I don't know, you know, whatever television or cable provider that you have. The channel CMT, Country Music TV, they do like different documentaries and biographies on different, you know, country singers. And I'm telling you, they have the most inspiring, heartfelt stories that I have ever, you know, seen. You know, we all have a story to tell. We all can be moved by somebody else's tragedy or triumph. But anyway, I just said, again, I said all that to get to my elbow to just say, you know, when I watched CMT, and then they had a documentary on Shania Twain. Oh, it's just an awesome moving stories. We see the glory of the person now, but you know what? We don't know where they had to go just to get to where they are. So a lot of times people want this and want that and wish, oh, I had this fame before. But you know what? You better know the story of how they got to their glory. Because if you say, oh, Lord, I want to be wealthy, and you get in a car accident and lose both your legs, and based on it being somebody else's fault, yeah, you'll be wealthy, but now you don't have two legs. So, we have to be careful, of what we want, because or what we, truly ask for. Because you know what? You don't know that person's story. All we see is the glitz and the glam, but you don't know that they might have got bust in the back of the head 20 times because they had to sleep in their car for 10 years until, they got that break. And I know that sounds a little bit exaggerated, but you listen to some of these people's stories and you'll see that, hey, you better know my story before I got to my glory. Okay, this ground beef is already ground and it's already browned, and the onions are getting a little bit translucent, so we're good to go. So I'm going to drain off this juice or grease, shall I say, and get ready to put the different seasonings on here. So hold on, because I got a flim flam webcam, and I got to get me a real camera. Y'all just bear with me, please. I'm just over here at the sink, rinsing it out, draining this grease, which we don't need. Don't need it, don't need it, don't need it. Just as soon as we drain this grease off, we are going to add our seasoning. And I sometimes just rinse it off with a little water as well. And, you can do this just as long as you haven't put no seasoning in your meat. This is why I don't put seasoning in my meat just yet. Because I like to rinse mine off with just a little bit of water. And you don't disturb the flavor that you've already added to the meat. You just simply rinsing it off a little bit with a little water. Okay. Now, I'll put that back on the fire. And as you all can see, it's just browned up beautifully. And it's got, like I said, the onions are translucent. So we're good to go now. So what I'm going to do is just crack this bad boy open. Again, it's Sloppy Joe seasoning mix from McCormick. Should be able to get it at any of your local grocery stores. This was 99 cents. And that's normally, just depending on what part of the country you're in. Excuse me, the United States you're in. Some places are higher than others. But again, I shop at Food Line. So that lets y'all know I'm in the South. I'm a Southern girl. And I know how to get down too now with some black eyed peas, neck bones, and black eyed pea juice. Come on now. I can do that too now, but sometimes you got to get some quickies in. Okay? So I got that in here. Okay? And then the next thing we need to do is add this original MANWICH, the actual liquid sauce. Okay. Pop this bad boy open. I'm gonna tell you, with these can openers, what you got sculpted nails, which is what I have. I remember one time I was being too quick, and I almost ripped my whole nail off. And what I like to do is just pour a little water in here, shake it around, so I don't lose any of my sauce. Shake that around a little bit, get the rest of that residue off of that. Pour it in there. you are good to go. Now, got my spoon. Just stir that in there. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? This is done. This is done. And of course, I'll taste it. And again, you just season this to your taste. Okay? If it needs a little sugar in it, it needs a little ketchup in it, a little bit more extra water. If I like mine thick. Now, if y'all can see the consistency of it, it's thick. Now, some people like theirs a little bit runny. I've got mine just the consistency I want. And so what I'm going to do is let it sit for about 15-20 minutes so that all the flavors can permeate in the meat. I think I said that word right, Lord. So it can all just work together. Let me just say it like that. And I'm going to cover it. Okay? And we are done. And the only thing you have to do next is just get you some hamburger buns. Get you some hamburger buns, whatever you like. Open them bad boys up. Pour that sloppy joe on it. And what I also like to put on top of mine is I'm going to grate some sharp cheddar cheese on it. And that really takes it up to another level if you all like cheese. If not, hey, just put this on your bun and you're good to go. I like to toast my buns with Land O'Lakes butter. Oh yes, oh yes. If you're going to do it, do it. Fry you up some crinkle fries or buy you some potato salad or chips and you're good to go. So, thank you all for watching. This is Tanya's Quick Fix Sloppy Joe.